Chapter 6. Violet. You are Violet Parr, correct? The woman asked, her breathing coming fast, her chest rising and falling as she locked the door behind her. Violet didn't understand what was happening. Yes, but... And you're Dash Parr? She continued, eyeing her brother. That's me, Dash said. The woman closed her eyes and leaned against the door, clutching her chest. I'm so glad I had the right house. Who are you? Violet asked. The woman didn't answer the question. She looked around nervously, her eyes talking in the home. Has anyone been here this morning? Have you had a delivery? Or had anyone call the house? Violet and Dash looked at one another, confused. Her mom's big rule was never to talk to strangers, and now they were locked in their house with one who was asking a whole lot of questions that didn't make sense. We haven't even eaten breakfast, Dash said with a shrug. That's good. The woman stood on her tiptoes in white trainers to look out the door window. Her jeans were rolled at the bottom, and she was wearing a baggy jumper. I don't see anyone suspicious, but that doesn't mean they aren't hiding out there. We should get away from the door. She walked into the living room, and Violet felt uneasy. Do you have a back exit we can use? Where is the baby? Dash looked at Violet, and she could see the fear in his eyes. Violet snapped to attention, feeling her emotions turn. Protect your brothers, she remembered Mom saying. Hang on. Who are you, and what are you doing in our house? Before the woman could answer, Violet held a hand up to stop her and looked at her brother. Dash, go upstairs and change Jack, she instructed him. He looked from his sister to the woman. But go, Violet insisted. And don't come downstairs till I tell you to. Dash raced up the stairs, and Violet narrowed her eyes at the woman standing in the living room. Who are you? I'm sorry to barge in like this, the woman said, running a hand through her shoulder-length brown hair. She had a fringe. Violet had always wanted a fringe, but the thought of not being able to hide behind her hair had always stopped her. I'm just trying to help, but I guess I'm not doing a great job. I didn't mean to scare you. It's just I'm scared myself. She rubbed her arms as if to keep warm. We don't have much time. I'm scared myself. The words made Violet uncomfortable. Still, she wouldn't show fear. I'm going to ask you again. Who are you? The woman looked at Violet. She had a heart-shaped face, amber eyes, and smooth peach-toned skin. Violet couldn't gauge how old she was. Her clothes seemed young, but she was clearly an adult. I'm a friend, she said, and her chin quivered. Of your parents. You know my parents? The woman nodded. If they were supposed to go with a stranger, her mother would have called and told her. Violet was sure of that, but her mom hadn't called, and she hadn't come home last night. Violet felt her whole body warming. Her skin started to prickle. Something was wrong. You still didn't answer the question. Who are you? The woman looked out the blinds in the living room. When she turned around, Violet could see the terror in her eyes. I'll explain everything when we get out of here. Her eyes went to the staircase upstairs behind Violet. Right now, you need to go grab some things and get your brothers. We have to move fast. Violet thought of the force field she hoped would be at the tip of her fingers if this woman took one step towards the stairs. Could she make one when she was this anxious? Violet held her ground. I'm not going anywhere till you tell me who you are and what's going on. The woman smiled. You remind me of your mom. Violet faltered. No one ever said that. Her mom was Elastigirl. She'd once saved a huge ocean liner full of people by using her elasticity to pull a damaged ship into port with her arms. Violet couldn't even lift her head up when she was called on in English class. My name is Mirage, the woman said gently. Mirage? That was the name on the card in Dad's office. For a split second, this news put her at ease. Her dad knew this woman. It still didn't explain what Mirage was doing at their house. And why are you here? I'm a friend of Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl. They sent me to get you. Violet inhaled sharply. This woman was using her parents' super names. Yes, I know who they are, and I know who you are too, Mirage said, and Violet faltered. If I were the enemy, would I know your parents' secret identities? She had a point. Rest assured, your secret is safe. Your parents sent me here to protect you and your brothers, which is why we have to go before the others get here. The others? What's going on? Where are my parents? Violet asked. Mirage's eyes fell to the floor, and Violet grew anxious. Tell me what's going on, or I'm not going anywhere. Mirage laced her fingers together. You may want to sit down. Violet's whole body began to tremble. I don't want to sit. She folded her arms across her chest. Where is my mom? Her voice cracked slightly. Mirage swallowed hard. She looked like she was thinking the question over. What is the simplest way for me to explain this? Your parents were working for a top-secret branch of the government that I work for. You work for the government? Violet said skeptically. No offense, but you look kind of young, like a babysitter. At this, Mirage smiled. Really? Thank you. She shook her head. Anyway, your parents, did you know they were still in the super business? Violet tensed. She knew the line was supposed to spin. She knew the line she was supposed to spin if anyone ever brought up her parents' alter egos. My parents are retired. Mirage raised an eyebrow. They were supposed to be, but I promise you, they're not. Supers are illegal, Violet reminded her, hearing her ears start to ring. My parents don't use their powers anymore, unless Dad needs to lift a sofa so Mom can vacuum. That's not entirely true, Mirage said slowly. Your parents were doing some deep undercover work with a branch of the government that is so top secret the world doesn't even know it exists. The world doesn't even know it exists. Top secret government work? Mirage couldn't be right, could she? Her mom was constantly stressing they were retired. Supers were illegal, and they had to fly below the radar. Her dad wasn't thrilled about this, but he stuck to the rules, most of the time. My mom and dad wouldn't want to get in trouble for doing super work. They don't want to have to move again. No, they didn't want to, Mirage agreed. But you have to trust me, they were doing top secret super work. For the agency. She heard her dad mention the agency before. She never met her dad's former boss, but she knew who he was. Every time her dad got in trouble for using his powers and they had to move, some guy named Rick Dicker helped clean up the mess. Violet noticed Mirage falter. You know about the agency? Violet nodded. No, this is a different branch. Mirage looked out the blinds again. Much more dangerous. Are my parents in danger? Violet held on to the nearest chair for support. Mirage didn't say anything at first. I can see you're a smart girl, Violet. I'm not going to lie to you. Something went wrong on your parents' mission, and they're in trouble. I was sent here to get you so you can help them, but we have to go now before it's too late. So Mom and Dad weren't at a conference. They were off using their powers, which is what they always told Violet not to do. A spark of annoyance flickered inside her, but she kept it at bay, thinking of the bigger picture. Her parents were in trouble, and they needed their children's help. Could this be true? Violet's heart beat like a drum as she thought about something her mom had said the other night in the car. If anything is wrong. Was this what Mom had meant? She told Violet to protect her brothers. She never mentioned Mirage. Still, her name was on a card in Dad's office. Violet was so confused. Where are my parents now? If you come back to headquarters with me, I will tell you everything. Mirage took Violet's hand. Right now, the important thing is we get out of here before the others arrive. Now come on, we have to move quickly, please. She glanced toward the doors again. I've already stayed too long and said too much. If Violet wasn't mistaken, Mirage looked frightened. Headquarters? Violet pulled out of Mirage's grasp. She thought again of the note from Mom in her pocket. Mom had told her to first try Lucius, and if that failed, to use the comms link. She hadn't done either yet. She wasn't about to get in a car with someone she didn't know before she tried to reach her mom. I'm sorry. I'm staying right here till I reach my parents. Mirage gulped hard. Violet, you can't do that. I was serious when I said you and your brothers were in danger. Her eyes darted back and forth. Mastermind is coming for you. Mastermind? Violet scoffed. Mastermind hasn't been seen in 15 years. You've heard of the supervillain? Good. Mirage seemed pleased. Then you know how dangerous Mastermind can be. Mastermind's on the way here as we speak. If you want to live and you want to help your parents, you need to come with me right now. I'll tell you everything else once we're safe, somewhere safe. But we're running out of time. Mastermind was gone. If there was ever a moment to think Mirage was lying, this was it. Violet made an executive decision. She walked swiftly to the front door and opened it again. All was calm and normal as it would be on a Sunday morning. Just like yesterday, someone was outside mowing their lawn, and Dash's friends were playing in the street. She wasn't in any danger in her own house, on her own street. Everything is fine, she told herself. Mom and Dad are fine. I want you to leave. Mirage stood there for a moment, then walked to the door slowly, as if she expected Violet to change her mind. A siren sounded in the distance, and Mirage tensed. Violet, please, she started to say, and stopped herself. Instead, she reached inside a pocket in her jeans. Fine, call your parents. Check me out. But when you realize I'm right, if you're still alive, call me. She handed her a crisp white business card before walking out. It was the same card Violet had found on Dad's desk. And if someone other than me rings this doorbell again, she paused. Run.